Hello, Hava.
This is crazy. Yeah. This is like too complicated. Can we get like a kitchen timer? Just like... Oh yeah, I can do. Can you do it? I don't know. I can do it. Hey, how are you? Good. The girls look good today. No. You probably.
I don't think you are. Are you?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant first to be interviewed.
I had one of these, and then that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's always
Do you like your
some
necklace?
dropouts.
Oh wait, where'd you go?
Hi. Good. How are you?
How's that? How's that? So
Yes.
this is me participating in Zoom.
I can hear you.
All right, perfect. Because
Oh,
I can hear
great.
everyone without echo or delay or anything.
But I kind of like it.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Okay. Me coming through there. Coming through there.
Okay, great. Thanks everyone for your patience. I will call to order the meeting of the select board, a special meeting of the select board on Monday, April 13th at 6:04 p.m. First order of agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Would anyone care to lead us tonight?
You do it.
Thanks, John.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Notes on the order of agenda.
No, other than the fact that, as I mentioned prior to the meeting, I had heard from James Coleman, who may not be able to participate. I did invite him to join us via Zoom. Don't know if he will. He's our first resident applicant. We also have heard from Dennis Brown, who cannot be here, but he submitted written responses. That's all I have.
Thank you. Any other notes on the agenda order? Right. We will move to public comment. Are there any public comments in the room on topics that aren't specifically on the agenda for tonight? See no comments in the room. Are there any hands on Zoom?
No.
All right.
Oh, wait, someone just raised their hand.
Okay.
Okay, Melinda, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, it's Melinda Brooks. I did want to just say hello. I had to come home, take care of the dog, but I'm here just to say I'm here. Thank you.
And in case it's related, all staff applicants should know that there will be no interviews of town staff applicants, just as an FYI.
Correct. Okay, great. Thank you for being here. Okay. I think we'll close public comment with that and move on to board reports, motions, and ordinances. And the first topic is the interviews for our town manager selection committee. We had 9 resident applications, residents submit applications. So thank you very much to everyone who took the time to consider involvement with the committee and put together an application and send it to us. Really much appreciated. And it's great to have this really strong pool of applications. The way we will run this process is you all, those of you who are present, or everyone who applied, received a set of questions, 2 of which we'll ask every applicant, and then another set of questions below that. And we will just ask one of those at random for each applicant. So there'll be 3 questions per applicant. We're going to use our timer and limit each interview to just 5 minutes, just because time constraints and the number of applications that we have. So hope you can kind of plan your responses with that in mind. And we are going to take turns being the interviewer. So we'll start with Mike down here, and he'll interview our first applicant. And I think we'll just go in the order that people are listed, which is the order that we received applications. So are there any questions from the board about the process? Questions from applicants about the process?
I said one comment, and maybe we could discuss this, but given the strength of this slate, would it be inappropriate or worth considering expanding this portion to 3 instead of 2? Is that
Questions?
not
3.
appropriate?
It takes you out of an odd number on the committee. That's one consideration.
Oh, you mean 3 committee members? Oh, okay.
Just throwing it out there, because looking at this group, I think there's a lot of very strong people, and I'm not concerned about the hung jury myself, but that's something if the board would want to consider that. But let's get through the interviews and then we can maybe check in and see if that's appropriate.
Okay. So we heard from James Colton that he's not able to attend unless is he on Zoom currently.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will move to Michelle Valesky. She present on Zoom. Okay, did we?
No.
She did submit
Sent
written
some
responses. She
yes.
didn't articulate whether that was to be in lieu of her question and answering or not, but maybe she'll show up later in the evening, but she did submit written answers.
Okay. So we'll move to Jason Smeller. Yeah, we wouldn't mind just coming and sitting here and using the microphone, yeah, Mike,
It's
whenever
the
you're
hot
ready.
seat.
Yeah.
Great, thanks for having me.
Mhm.
How's it going, Jason?
Well,
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your ties to the town of Hartford?
yeah, I'm Jason Smoller. I'm the managing director at Northern Stage, but maybe more important, I'm a Hartford resident and a parent of a kid in the Hartford School District. My son is 6 at Dothan Brook School and having the time of his life. And so to me, that says we're here for the long haul. We love it here. We want to be invested participants in the town. So I run a business downtown. I have great interest in what happens downtown, but more than that, I'm looking at like, what are we going to get involved in? And so I felt like this was the moment to raise my hand and participate and see what I can do for the town.
Thanks. Why have you volunteered to serve on the town manager selection committee?
Yeah. I said I want to get involved, so I'm here raising my hand because I have looked at what ways I can do that. Are there committees I can serve on? Are there things I might do? Or should I run for office like all of you have done? I don't think that's where my skill set lies, but as I looked at this opportunity and thought about, well, that's a way I think I could contribute. I think my expertise are a good fit here. The day job I do is running a business that is not dissimilar to the town, I think. The town manager position especially is it's an interesting leadership job where you are governed by a board. And so you have to work with that group of elected folks who are thinking differently and bringing ideas, but you also have to lead a big team and manage a budget and deal with the day-to-day and long-term aspects of what it is to run a business of town that isn't really a business. And so I thought I can relate to that. I've also sat in a lot of interviews. I've hired a lot of folks in my career, and I've been on the other side a few times, interviewed for leadership positions. So I thought I could contribute here.
Sweet. Last question. At this moment, what are the most important characteristics and qualities of a town manager, and how might the next town manager add the most value to the organization and the town?
I think the town manager has to be a strong leader and manager, has to be able to inspire staff and lead disparate factions from time to time, because there are people who have been in this job longer than the town manager will have been here, regardless of who they are, and they will have strong ideas about what has to happen next. And it's the town manager's job to work with those folks and bring them into whatever the vision is. And so to me, it's about leadership. It's about working with a board of elected officials who change regularly. And so it's helping to lead that group, but also understand that you're governed by that group. And then it's also about setting a vision for the town. And so to me, that's the other thing that you would look for that's sort of unquantifiable is how visionary is this person? What can they bring to the table that isn't just I can balance a budget or deal with a deficit budget, and I know how to deal with public works, and I know how to run an election. It's like, it's the visionary stuff. What's going to happen in downtown White River Junction in the next 10 years? And there's some major projects that this person will have to lead and tackle, but really needs to have a vision for, needs to be able to articulate, needs to be able to bring groups together. And the other thing I want to add is they need to be an outside the box thinker, and they need to know to turn over every stone. They're, especially running a nonprofit, you have to look for where are all my sources of revenue. And I think that's probably true at the town as well, that there's tax revenue, but then there are all these opportunities through grants and state partnerships and the federal government. You have to be able to turn over the stones creatively and say, actually, I think that project probably is a good fit for this if we pitch it this way, or if I partner with this person or this entity. So those are the things I would look for and try to get at.
Well, thank you for applying and for your
you.
thoughtful responses.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, Jason. Thank you. I want to pause for 1 second before we go to the next one, just to have a quick acknowledgement around the situation of conflict of interest for board members. And so this is something, if board members have any sort of ties with applicants, whether it's community members or staff applicants, to consider recusal based on any sort of tie or relationship, if you feel that it might bias your ability to make an objective decision about a person's ability to serve on the committee. So
recusal is, it's a sole discretion of the board member. So it's completely up to us as individuals to make that decision. And how you want to manage that is your decision as well. So, leave the room for an interview or for a part of the discussion when we're deliberating later, or just choose to not participate. I think those are all available options, and it's up to us in our own judgment to choose, whether to recuse and how to recuse. Does that make sense? Eric, is there anything you would add about that?
That says it.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. I'm sorry for not mentioning that at the very outset. Okay, so I think we're ready for our next applicant, which is Chuck Worcester, and Mary will be conducting the interview.
Hi, Chuck. Not really doing this on my own, but I appreciate it. And you know the 2 questions, so we'll just start with number 1. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your ties to the town of Hartford.
Sure. Yes, I own and run Sunrise Farm on Route 5, south of town. I've lived in Hartford for 27 years, Vermont most of my life. Over the years, I've been on the Conservation Commission, various master plan steering committees, 6 years on the select board. I'm currently the town moderator for the town. I've been at JP, and I've been involved in hiring 2 town managers over the years.
Great. Thank you for that. Number 2, why have you volunteered to serve on the town manager selection committee?
Yes, I put my name in because I knew that John's departure was going to be relatively quick and that the town was going to want to act expeditiously to try and fill that spot. And so because I've been involved in the process a couple times before, both from the select board side and as a member of a town manager search committee, I put my name in to sort of kind of help fill in that gap. Having said that, it's delightful to see what a great turnout we have and how many applicants we have. So I feel in no way like that I need to be or deserve to be here in any way. So it's a busy time on the farm and I've got lots to do. But as I said, I'm really glad at how many people have stepped forward and glad to be part of that.
Thank you. Thank you for your humility as well. And the question I selected is, the town manager faces vocal critics every day and plays a key role in decision-making while faced with social challenges, tight budgets, emerging crises, and competing priorities. How would you evaluate a candidate's potential resilience and ability to stay motivated and steady under these pressures?
Yes, I liked a lot of what Jason said. I think about the primary skill and trait of a town manager is somebody who can really bring people together and really sees people as sort of potential allies and potential sources of strength. So I think when you're in a public position and you have people, of course, unhappy, not everybody can be happy all the time. So I think if you have somebody who is a true people person, that they're able to sort of, they're able to see where somebody's coming from. They're able to see the larger picture and how this fits in, and sort of avoid getting bogged down either in personality or specific issues. So that feels to me like a really strong applicant is somebody who has that kind of breadth of vision. And so probably for the person that who would be best for Hartford, that they will have some demonstrated experience of having done that along the way.
Great, thanks. I appreciate that, Chuck.
Yeah, thanks, Mary.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chuck.
Thanks, Chuck. We're coming in under 5 minutes with these, so great job, everybody. Okay, we have Dennis Brown who applied but is not able to be here tonight. And knowing that he did not Zoom. Okay, and then Philip Roberts. Come on up, welcome.
Hi, Philip. Good evening. Thank you for being here. Thanks. The first question, tell us a bit about yourself and your ties to the town of Hartford.
Sure. So I'm a lifelong resident, 47 years old. I was born and raised here. I graduated Hartford High School in 1996. I have owned my residence in the town for the last 25 years. Raised my 2 kids, me and my wife, in that house. So that's kind of my history here in town. Professionally, I've been with the Lebanon Police Department for 26 years, currently serving as a chief of police for the last 5. With that responsibility, I have had many experiences with hiring and doing search committees and the whole process from A to Z. So I feel like I'm pretty versed in these recruitment processes and committees.
Great, thank you. That may have answered some of question two, but why have you volunteered to serve on the selection committee?
Yeah, just kind of highlight what I just went over. I care deeply about the town in the future and the direction it's heading as a lifelong resident. I've been involved, like I said, in hiring and recruitment processes throughout my career. And I think that experience that I can bring to the table would be an asset to the town. I think the committee, whoever is selected for the committee needs to look for a town manager with some energy. I prefer someone with some local ties or has roots in the community. I think the last 3 or 4, town managers we've had, some of them have been outside, and in my personal opinion, but just doesn't work after 2 or 3 years. I'd like to see somebody that has roots in the area and is going to be long term.
Okay. Thank you. And now for your random question.
Sure.
How would you manage a situation where you personally favor a candidate, but the majority of the committee leans towards someone else? And maybe feel free to expand on some of your past experiences.
Sure. I think you just have to, it's a democracy, right? The board will vote. And you just, I think you have to share why you support a particular candidate while valuing, everyone else's opinions, whether you completely agree or not. So majority rules at the end of the day, and you have to accept that.
Okay. You might have still some time on the clock if you feel that you want to expand on any of your answers.
Yeah, I just kind of want to expand, on the ideal candidate. Like I said, I'd like to see someone that has some energy, long term, that's going to, settle and put some roots down and have a vision going forward and be involved in the town and just stay engaged and manage the challenges, that the town faces head on.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
Thanks. Great, okay. Next we have Hava Walter.
Hello, thank
Hi.
you.
Hello, good. Great, so yeah, Hava, please tell us a bit about yourself and your ties to the town of Hartford.
Sure. My husband and I moved here 26 years ago, fresh out of college. We have lived in Hartford all of our adult lives. We've lived in 4 out of the 5 villages of Hartford, I'm very proud to say. Not everybody can say that. I'm holding out for the 5th, maybe retirement in Queechee. That's my last village. We have owned our own small business in town. I have been both a Girl Scout troop leader and a Cub Scout troop leader, a sports mom, a theater parent. I have served on the school board. I have helped with the 5-year plan. I have sat in on many a select board and school board meetings as an active and participating resident of the town. I care deeply about what happens in this town. And on a professional side, I am the executive director of the Hartford Area Chamber of Commerce. And so professionally, I'm very vested in the continued growth and development, and hopefully, as Jason said, a lot of creative ideas that come up for Hartford moving forward, all 5 villages.
Great, thank you. And why have you volunteered to serve on this specific committee?
Well, my roots are here. This is where my family is. This is where my business is, and it's where I have my day job. I'm very integrated into my downtown friends, my farming friends. I care very much about what happens to my community, which is why I've spent so much of my adult life trying to be of use to my community. And that's why I'm here, is because I hope that if I have anything useful, that it will be of service to this committee.
Thank you. And finally, from your point of view, so aside from the routine day-to-day town manager duties, what should a town manager do to preserve what is best about the town and tackle persistent challenges?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think that one of the most important things for the new town manager to do coming in, I mean, there are a lot of really important and impactful things to really think about. One is creating a really important culture of within the town, within the staff of the town, and the relationship with the select board and the relationship with the school board, and spending some time really cultivating that. It's hard for a municipal staff that's had a lot of change that's happened, a lot of staffing change. We've been through several town managers in what feels like a short time. If this were any other job, it would feel normal. But as our leader in chief, it may feel like a lot of change lately in the past 10 years. So I think somebody coming in is going to really need to focus on creating a work culture, a culture of congeniality, of teamwork, someone who's going to work on building bridges between different departments and within partners in the community. Instead of working maybe in isolation, not that that's necessarily what we're doing now, but saying, looking forward, that will be incredibly important to make sure that no one's working in isolation, but working in integration, collaboration. And as Jason said, an out-of-the-box thinker is going to be incredibly important moving forward. So those are really important aspects of whoever comes in. Someone who also has really good boundaries and someone who has really great communication. And here I'm thinking a little bit about that other question about the harsh criticism that sometimes our town manager takes from our residents. And that's a really hard thing to realize, that when you're the leader of a community, so to say, you are under the magnifying glass. And it's a really hard thing to negotiate with being observed intensely and being able to hold your boundary and say, thank you for that comment, and I disagree. I think that being able to communicate effectively and with strong boundaries is something that will really be an important piece for whoever comes in next.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Harper.
Thanks, Hava.
Hey, Jasmine Hawkins.
My turn. Jasmine, tell us a little bit about yourself and your ties to Hartford.
Hi, everyone. I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia. I moved up here into the Wilder Village almost 4 years ago to join the White River Junction VA healthcare system workforce. As a young single professional settling into the area, I was looking for anyone who's always been rooted in community. I've been looking for ways to be a part of my community here, I was trying to find a way to have a sense of belonging outside of work. And what drew me in almost immediately was seeing how engaged residents are, from supporting various activities that happen around our town, like the food pantry or the shelter, taking up various town roles and actively participating in meetings and public discussions. So witnessing that level of involvement inspired me to want to become more active and present in spaces that weren't always visibly accessible to me, or easy to navigate in previous living environments. So this led to me volunteering as an election poll worker and being a community member on the Hartford Committee on Racial Equity and Inclusion. So living in the Upper Valley has shown me that even with a small population, the community offers an abundance of opportunities to contribute, to connect and help shape the future of this town. Through this experience, I've become more invested in Hartford's inclusivity and overall well-being, which is why I'm committed in serving in ways that continue to strengthen this community.
And then you've kind of spoken to this a little bit, but why have you volunteered to serve specifically on the town manager selection committee?
Yes. So I'm interested in volunteering on this committee, even though I have a few years being in the community. I think I'm probably the newest resident among the applicants, but I have found that I care deeply about ensuring everyone who's impacted, including myself, impacted by the town of Hartford, residents, staff, business owners, and community partners have a voice that is reflected within town leadership. One moment that clarified this for me was attending one of the annual town meetings and witnessing the many residents who expressed serious concerns about the proposed budget and the accompanying increase in property taxes needed to cover rising costs in staff payroll, the town services and goods. And so their worries were mostly centered around affordability and whether certain expenses should remain within the budget. I was pleased to witness the current town manager, John Haverstock's approach to the conversation by him simply listening to everyone's frustration. And it was very intense in the room, but he was able to respond to everyone with empathy, clarity, and evidence-based explanations about the purpose of every budget line item that was in question. And while it was not the perfect answer that everyone wanted to hear and had hoped for, it was his willingness to engage and openly and provide transparent reasoning that demonstrated the kind of leadership that builds trust within difficult moments. So witnessing this as one example was a way that reinforced my belief that Hartford needs a town manager who leads with responsiveness, transparency, one who is solution oriented, and has respect for community concerns. So this being a part of this committee is, as I see it, as a pivotal decision to contribute to the process that identifies a leader who values the town's needs and priorities, communicates thoughtfully, and is committed to moving our town forward.
And my last random question is, what experience will you bring to the process of screening, interviewing, assessing, and recommending candidates for an executive position?
Okay, I'll try to make this as quick as possible. So I bring nearly a decade of experience in operational effectiveness, process improvement, and change management. I believe with that experience, it has allowed me to move forward in a lot of things with a structured, thoughtful, and collaborative approach. I'm skilled at assessing organizational needs, thinking strategically, identifying creative solutions with limited resources, as Jason had mentioned earlier, identifying leadership qualities that align with long-term goals, and just having an equity-focused perspective.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jasmine.
We have one more person, John Hafner. And at the very end, I'll go back and see if any of the folks who weren't present are on Zoom, just to give them one more try, but I guess they won't be, but we'll just check out that after we talk to John.
John, welcome. Tim, thanks for stepping up. Just tell us a little bit about your background and while you're here.
Sure. So I moved to Hartford about 4 years ago now. I live in White River Junction, right near the high school. Go Hurricanes. I got 2 kids. They go to White River School. Go Hawks. So yeah, very
That's
much
called pandering.
unless any of you guys are Koichi fans. But yeah, very much similar to Jasmine, newer to town, but this is my forever home. My wife and I are setting roots down here. So very much thinking about the future of Hartford and really appreciating also the past and history and all the things that the great residents of Hartford bring, and thinking about how we can best sort of serve our community into the future. My wife is a doula, so she gets to be a part of the next generation of Upper Valley residents, and so we I think have a wonderful position here to just get to be part of such a great community. Oh, and I'm work at the Upper Valley Lake Sunapee Regional Planning Commission. It's the regional planning commission on the other side of the river that works with 27 towns on the New Hampshire side of the Upper Valley.
John, what do you think the most critical quality is in a town manager to be effective?
I would probably say, I mean, this seems silly, but management. But I think to sort of dive into that a little bit more, there's, municipal governance is such a broad, and kind of speaking from the experience of working with several municipalities, there's so many issues that a municipality has to address. There's so many different solutions and possible directions that a town can take. A manager could possibly know all of the answers to that. So being able to delegate, being able to draw upon the expertise of staff, And then being able to at least have a broad enough understanding of the way that municipal governance functions within its sort of hierarchy of the state and federal governments to know enough about, you know, how to assess where funding might come from, how to be able to understand the particular levers that can be pulled, and then how to draw upon the expertise that exists within staff. So I think being able to manage that environment effectively and to delegate and to reach out where they have questions is important. I'd also like, I think this was said before, being able to maintain a vision for the town is also important, and to be able to, I think, build a coalition around that vision and get people to kind of, yes, to have an affirmative association with the direction of the town, I think is a really important component as well. Coalition builder, I guess, maybe,
Yeah.
so to speak.
So what characteristics do you feel like you'd bring to the committee to currently help with that process of finding a candidate?
I think through my professional experience, just, you know, being able to work at, you know, a regional level where I can directly see the importance of professional staff within municipal governance. I know that there are the sort of obvious components of their day job, which is to sort of fulfill the necessary things that they're required to as part of their department from the staff, but also they are part of a network of professionals across municipalities and across departments as well, and other stakeholders within town. So I think being able to recognize and understand who can who somebody who can recognize their role, not just when their own professional ability to get the job done, but also to, I think, to connect to that visionary component of, you know, who are the stakeholders here? How do we build that coalition? How do we talk to the folks that should be part of this conversation?
Thank you. Any other last thoughts?
To ask him one of the questions.
I thought that was in terms of contributing to the committee kind of thing.
Oh, or why did you want to join the committee? I guess that was my only other question.
That's like yeah, but I think in there is my interest in municipal government for sure. I think it's, if I could say, the best level of government. And
That's a sell.
That's a very good sell.
And then just I'm also on the housing committee, and I'm also on the housing committee, and so I think I love being a part of you know, the different committee functions of the town, and yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in.
Great.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thanks,
John.
John.
Thank you. And one more check just to see if either James, Michelle, or Dennis Brown are on. Okay, we didn't expect them to be, but just wanted to give one last opportunity. Okay, wonderful. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah, round of applause. That's great candidate.
Very fortunate to have this pool of candidates, and yeah, thanks. Yet another reason why I'm proud to be working in the best level of government, in Hartford specifically. Okay, so next we're going to talk about the considering the adoption of the committee charge, which is in our agenda packet. We'll discuss this as a select board. If anyone in the room wants to make a comment about that agenda item, you're welcome to as well after we have some discussion as a board. And then we will go into deliberations to make some decisions about the membership of the committee. So select board, are there any feedback or questions or clarification needed around the charge for the selection committee? We'll go Miranda and then Tim.
I was wondering if it makes sense to list the responsibilities of like the chair, vice chair, and clerk, or do you feel like those positions are like the responsibilities are known well enough?
Yes. Do other people have thoughts on that? I mean, we have, yeah.
I think, if I may,
Yes.
number 5 just specifies that the vice chair takes over when the chair is absent, right? And I don't know, do we need, feels like the clerk should be a fairly obvious role, but just my sense is that.
No, I agreed, but I just,
Yeah, it's a good
I know
question.
different committees and stuff kind of like operate a little differently, so I didn't know if we wanted to specify in this or if we just let that kind of take
Yeah,
shape how it does.
Or say like the responsibility of the committee to delegate as appropriate among those roles.
Yeah.
I think it's, my experience last time was that depending on who's chosen for sort of the recruitment process, really impacts the kind of the structure and the flow of that group. So I think people have to realize that, you know, at the end of the day, it's sort of a matter of sort of working with that recruiting person, if you will, and kind of coming up with a strategy that works, you know, as where and when the committee participates and so on. And everybody's got a little bit different bent on that, I think. So I think that it's just important to recognize that the, you know, at the end of the day, you know, a lot of it's obviously driven by what candidates you get, right, to kind of work through. But I just think it's worth pointing out that recruitment overlay, it does structure and impact the group and how it ultimately plays out. That's all I just wanted to mention.
Right. Are there any edits that you would make based on that, or is that just sort of to raise awareness about the importance of collaboration with the? I mean, I think number 2 does say work with a professional recruiting firm who will carry out the search.
Yeah.
So it's listed in simple terms there. I think we need to go into more detail in the chart itself. Or...
No, I think it's good. It's well laid out.
Okay. Okay. Your thoughts, Mary?
I have a question that may be obvious already, but I just think it should be very clear. This charge means we are hiring a recruitment group rather than doing it without. You can still post positions and get, you know, people to come for interviews, but this charge says to work with a professional recruiting firm. So I just want to make sure that the public knows then transparently that that's what the select boards.
Well, I would point out that after your executive session is the time that you're going to decide that.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what I wanted to know.
So obviously, I think you may bring up a good point that if we weren't going down that path, then obviously the structure of this would
Right.
change.
Right. Well, that's why I wanted to make sure that that was transparent before we go into it.
Yeah.
Item 6 D considers selecting a recruiter.
Right, and from our discussion in public session at their last meeting, I believe we arrived at the conclusion of the sort of hybrid model, but using a recruiter, but in a scaled down from a national search. So I think that, yeah, I think that's definitely a public record that we are moving in that direction, and a final decision will be made tonight. But yeah, I think it's appropriate that the recruiting firm language is in this, given the decision we arrived at our last public meeting. Yeah, thank you for noting that. Okay, Eric.
Thank you. There are 3 areas where I noted just minor grammatical errors, and I should have been the one that introduced them in the version that I gave you that I edited. So we don't need to go into those now, but
Yeah.
I can somewhere on my computer we have a version, but they don't change substance at all or meaning. They're just like extra commas or things that got screwed up with the revision control when
Sure.
revisions got accepted. So if there's nothing else, I can make a motion.
I just want to clarify, yeah, so I mean, you probably covered this in your notes, but yeah, the current last sentence of the terms, the committee will be disbanded as soon as a job offer made by the select board is accepted by the
Yeah,
candidate.
right.
So, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, okay,
That one, and there were 2 others that they're just similar.
Okay.
They're just syntax.
grammar, okay.
Grammar. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, and so then the one substantive sentence I might add based on Miranda's input is at the end of the constitution section, after we say the committee will elect its chair, vice chair, and clerk at the first meeting, I would maybe add a sentence, it's the responsibility of the committee to delegate duties among the roles of chair, vice chair, and clerk.
Sure.
Any other edits? Tim?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, then I think we're ready for a motion on the proposed committee charge.
Item, I'll move to adopt the charge for the town manager selection committee as amended.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Miranda. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed or abstain? All right, excellent. Okay, so we will move to executive session. So a motion to do so.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Mary.
Okay. I move in order to allow for a discussion of the town manager recruitment process and evaluation of competing recruitment firm proposals and consideration of potential candidates. I move to find that premature general public knowledge would clearly place this body and or persons involved at a substantial disadvantage pursuant to 1 VSA section 313A1. And move to discuss the contractual and personnel matters pursuant to 1 VSA section 313A1A and 313A3.
Great. There's a motion. Is there a second? Second. Miranda, second. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Giving away my stance. Any opposed or abstain? Okay, we're in executive session and
PM. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Miranda. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we are going to now make have a proposed slight change to the charge of this committee, which was on the agenda prior. We're going to revisit that agenda item after our deliberation. Is there a motion to make a revision to the Hartford Town Manager Selection Committee charge?
Item.
Yes, Eric.
I would like to move that that we amend the recently ratified committee charge to read under the Constitution section, the HTMSC will consist of 8 voting members, which will be appointed by the town select board, consisting of 2 select board members, 3 town staff members, and 3 residents of Hartford.
I'll second the
There's
motion.
a motion and a second from Mary. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstain? Okay, thank you. Okay, I will now announce our decision in terms of the makeup of this committee, and then there'll be a motion to approve the membership of the committee. So again, thank you to everyone. This was a difficult decision, a very difficult decision. And we have excellent candidates across the board. So very grateful that everyone who applied. I'll start with the community member residents. The community member residents will be Jason Smoller, Chuck Worcester, and Jasmine Hawkins. Our staff members will be Scott Cooney, Melinda Brooks, and Dylan Walsh. And our select board members will be Tim Burial and Miranda Dupree. Is there a motion to accept the membership of this committee? Miranda?
I move that the board accept the membership of this committee.
Thank you. Is there a second to the motion?
A second.
Mike seconds. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Is it appropriate for me to abstain from voting for myself?
Always make
I
you
mean,
look
is there a way to
bad.
peel that off?
You can, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'll say any
You can-
opposed,
You can vote for yourself.
I know, but I was just trying to be cordial.
any abstentions.
Unlike Miranda.
Now's the time if you do want to abstain.
If I could just, the other part of the slate, I'm very much in favor of, but I don't know whether, is that possible to do that?
We'd
I
have
think
to
you just-
rescind the motion.
Point of order, discussion is over.
Yeah, discussion's over. You just
Sorry.
have to choose.
Okay, I'll vote. I'm sorry, I apologize.
You voted aye. Okay. So we have unanimous vote. Everyone's voted aye. Okay, excellent, great. And John, so we'll just ask you to email everyone who applied
I
and
will.
yeah, just please say that it was an extremely strong slate of applicants. We're very grateful for everyone's interest, and then let them know if they were selected or not.
Before the evening is over, I'd like to get your signature on appointment forms like
Okay.
that for every possibility.
Okay, great. Do you just need my signature? Or the,
Yes, just
okay,
yours.
Okay, will do.
Yes. Point of, I don't even know which one. Someone said that we're not streaming on YouTube. Ivan, are we live on YouTube? Someone just sent us an email while we were in Texas. Okay. Oh, it's not on the normal jam one. Do you have it? Just so I can email them back. Town of Hartford. Thank you.
Okay, did you hear that, Ida? Heidi said there's also some audio problems at home.
Yeah, so sorry, just this is a note about the technical difficulties we've been experiencing recently. I've communicated every issue I've heard back to JAM leadership. Yeah, and Heidi has too. So we're doing the best we can to smooth out any persisting technical issues that people are having at home. And I apologize for that. I know that we're doing everything in our power to have strong lines of communication with our wonderful staff at JAM. And I've been told that they are doing their best and working on it and coming in outside the meetings to try to troubleshoot. So I think it's yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. We've been hearing from different folks. We've been
I'm hearing for some people there's no issues, and for some there are. So again, we're working with Jam. That's the best we can do at the moment. We hope that it resolves in a more stable way in coming days. Okay, back to our agenda. So we will now consider selecting a recruiter and discuss the timeline and process for the town manager position. We deliberated in executive session around the recruiter applications we have. Would someone like to make a motion on the recruiter that we will hire to guide a pared down, streamlined search process and ensure that this process happens with integrity and rigor, and that all applicants are given fair consideration and work with the committee to make recommendations to the select board. Is there a motion around the selection of a recruiter?
Thank you, Chair. I move that the select board approve engaging Rethink Local to execute the town manager selection process. And we need to authorize you, John, authorize the town manager to complete any necessary contracts.
Second.
And a second from Miranda. Any discussion from select board comments?
Just to follow up with you, Eric, on your instructions, have there been any changes or modifications that you want to see from Rethink's most recent submission? Or is the board content with the terms laid out in that?
I'm going to defer that question.
You want me to sort of semi-answer that? I mean, there is a paring down, if you will, obviously.
The most recent one, yeah, sorry, Tim, just to
Yeah.
jump in. So I think that was John was referring to, the revised terms that Alex wrote in his most recent email, which I believe you got.
Yes.
Which was, yeah,
And are those acceptable to the board?
yes,
Okay.
Yes.
yes. Okay. Sorry to interrupt you. Okay, that's good. All right, so now we'll say all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Okay, great.
Who seconded that motion? I'm sorry.
Miranda.
Miranda, thank you.
Yeah, and similarly, John, if you would, just trying to think, does it make sense for John, or should I email the recruiter people? I think if you don't mind doing it.
No, it's
that
fine.
works, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could just, again, thank them for their engagement and participation in interviews.
VLCT and
The
the other one,
LCT and
MRI.
Municipal Inc. And then, yeah, but I know especially, Rethink Local had some other decisions that he needed to make, and this, so if you could, yeah, tomorrow would be the preference. I told him we'd have them on Tuesday, and I know that impacts some other contracts that he's considering.
Yep.
So that'd be great. Okay, awesome. Okay, also on this agenda item was discuss the timeline and process item. Do we have anything else we need to talk about tonight? I think just the timeline is to let them know ASAP. And we had discussed in the interviews a potential start date, and I think
Said April
Alex put,
16th.
Alex put April 16th as his when he couldn't start. A 3-month process, John, so that would put us to mid-July to have the position filled. That's our goal. We'll do everything we can, and I'm sure Alex will too, to get us there. So is that okay with you in terms of timeline?
Yeah, I'm happy to meet you guys halfway or all the way, wherever you land.
Okay. Halfway or all the way, meaning the month of July. Just
Yeah,
for
to
public-
assure a good, smooth
Yeah,
transition.
okay, all right, great. Well,
Whenever it is.
and I think Alex is ready to hit the ground running April 16th, and so that would put us around mid-July in terms of his timeline. Any other important notes on timeline? Yes.
Do we, or I mean, I could have missed any communication that happened with applicants for the committee. Do they have an idea of when the first meeting will be? And if not, when does that get determined?
First
Would that
committee
the
meeting?
recruiter? Yeah, with the recruiter.
Yeah,
We would
I think
expect,
we'll look-
the
We'll look
recruiter
to
would reach out
them
to the committee, right?
to schedule that. I think
Okay.
they'll handle that.
Do we want to let committee members know
Yeah.
that they can expect to hear in the next week or so about meeting, or the first meeting?
Yeah.
With our consultant kind of leading the process?
Yeah,
Or them reaching out to him?
I
or-
think maybe I would maybe suggest that we tell Alex when we tell him that we want to work with him, maybe give him the list of
Yes.
contact information for
Yes.
the committee
Yes,
and just direct him to do as he sees fit.
and I'll introduce him
Yeah.
to Ally, who
Yeah.
can help us meet the open meeting law and post meeting agendas and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you could say maybe like in the coming weeks, expect to hear from our chosen recruiting firm, Rethink Local.
He does say in here, I take care of all the scheduling, but people will just need to be flexible, respond quickly.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, and a note to Alex too, John, that we've increased the committee charge to have 8 members, so that means that there'll need to be 5 to reach quorum.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, Tim.
I just wanted to emphasize, I think this was a really key point with Alex, that he really likes to kind of go out of the process at the start, reaching out to select board members and discussing their vision of leadership and qualities and so on. It really helps him form that profile and really get a sense of where we are as a town. So I want select board people to be aware of that he intends to kind of do little one-on-ones, say, hey, what do you think? And kind of flush out sort of some of the, layers of complexity in the community. And so that when he's building that community profile and then looking for candidates, those things kind of line up nicely.
I think I've got it.
Okay, thank you, John.
Sure.
Thanks for handling those communications.
Mhm.
Super.
Who knew retiring would be so difficult for you?
Yeah, exactly. I might have rethought the whole thing.
There's a level of brevity that I just,
Well, this is just one important step, I think, to maybe, alleviating you. You gotta set up a strong foundation for this committee, and then
Yes.
they'll take it from there. In many ways,
Right.
yeah. Okay. All right, and now we're on the what is this?
Town manager
Yeah,
job
the town manager job description. Sorry, 6E. Okay, so it's job descriptions, relatively brief.
And recent.
And recent from the last 3 years.
can I ask a question about that?
Of course.
I hadn't done this part of my homework tonight, but I just didn't know if anyone was able to flush out any incongruency between we'll call it the statute around town managers, the charter, and then ultimately what we're putting out as a selling point for the position. So I just want to see if there's anything we might be missing there, and I'm going to do that work myself, but did anybody kind of read through those 3 source points and say, we're kind of missing this, or we really should emphasize this, or that's all. It's just, I think it's a good exercise to make sure that those 3 components line up reasonably well, or
Nope.
not.
Nothing comes to my mind. I just reread the town manager's job description, and nothing struck me as striking a false note or being in conflict with any other source, like you mentioned.
Thank you, John. Helpful to have attorney perspective on these issues. Other thoughts on that at all?
I didn't see anything that jumped out.
Did anyone else have any revisions they wanted to make? Mary, any thoughts?
No?
Okay.
I've read them through several times, so.
Can you make a motion if you want one?
Okay. I would
Move to accept or approve the town manager job description as presented.
I'll second that.
second from Tim. Any other comments? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Excellent. Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Go ahead.
I'll take
By-
Miranda's
Miranda.
motion,
By acclamation.
a second.
I'll second.
Mary will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great.
8:10, baby.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
Bring your average down just a little
Yeah.
bit.